Found a sharp edge.
How did that incident?
My nighttime toilet.
The situation here has gone from bad to worse, being alive.
I've lost my gear selection. I can select gears, but there's no drive. No drive.
So, a week ago, I was having the time of my life at Download Festival. When a banana struck. Now, I'm on my way to see my physio. And it's only 3 days until I'm supposed to be riding to Scotland. This is gross. So, destination has changed. We're now going to Ireland. My plan is to strap this bad boy onto the bike, onto the back, with these bungee cords and ratchet straps. Of course, the issue is that I have to bring all these goddamn cameras with me. So, it's just an added thing to think about. Not much room for 10 days. I think it'll work. The new phone charger has been wired up. So now I can know where I'm going. Already late with no time to test to see if the charger actually worked, I was on my way to Ferndown to meet with my travel partner for the trip. First stop is
Ricardo's place.
Ricardo, your Italian son.
Yeah.
Doesn't look Italian, doesn't he?
So let's go. Let's hit the road.
Don't waste any. What happened to you, man?
And this. These happened.
Big, spready. Not good. Eggs. Are you gonna have a fish and egg sandwich, Sally?
What?
A fish and egg sandwich?
Fish and egg.
Yeah. He's on board.
That's what I said.
Well, I said small one.
It's really small.
As soon as we get to Wales, it rains. And it's very windy. So much so we have to stop. So I'm here that.
Drenched from the torrential rain, the sun and gale force crosswinds along the south coast of Wales quickly dried us out as we rushed to catch the Pembroke ferry to Rosslare. On the ferry to Ireland, we've already had some sketchy situations caught in the rain, and some pretty hairy wind tunnels coming through Wales. He's clearly had enough. Would you like me to paint you like one of those French women? The French really are quite ugly.
Last stint of the day, we're here near Rosslare at McDonald in Ireland, and we're heading to something lodge.
Musty Lodge. Musty Lodge?
No, something near lodge.
Musty.
40 minutes away, in the rain.
The final stop of day 2 was a cosy, family-run Airbnb in Arthurstown, County Wexford. Population of 127 and only one pub. Despite what you might think, that is not 100 little leprechauns tap dancing on the window.
The place we're staying at is in Arthurstown. Claire owns it and runs it.
Claire?
But I call her Mary quite a lot of the time. It was blowing a gale last night, but the sun is shining now. This is Claire's mother's place, who was a collector. And there's all sorts of stuff around. Yeah, we had a fine Irish breakfast.
Waterford in 3 words.
Here, now.
Today. Oh, nice. It's alright. Although it started out bright and sunny, the strong winds and changeable weather continued to follow us down the coast, and after getting lost briefly on the ring road around Cork, we eventually arrived at the small town of Kinsale, which seemed to have been taken over by American tourists. But also, fortunately for us, it had plenty of pubs, where we could stop for our first proper Guinness.
That's the proper way to drink Guinness.
She's the star of the holy light. Thank you very much.
Pat it. Yeah. The rearview mirror. Stroke it. There you go. My bike comes with a perfect drinks holder and roll holder.
So we are now here where it says I am here. Tricky one, Kinsale. We're going to aim for Dingle today, so we're going to do as much of this coast as we can up to Kenmare and then onto the Ring of Kerry, round and up to Dingle tonight. But it's going to be a great day.
Is it going to rain?
It might not if we're lucky, but there are rain clouds around.
Can you pronounce that word there?
What? That one?
That one.
Nah.
The one before it?
Not a clue.
One after it?
Cumakista, Jersey Island. I'm not going to try that one. We tried that key code 1950 and we can't get the box open. Pull it from the top.
Aha!
We didn't want to rip it off the wall.
Definitely could have. Well,
Wow.
this is Dingle.
This is Dingle in looking at its best, I think.
Yep.
Gale.
Moist.
It didn't rain until about half an hour out of Dingle, so.
And it's never going to stop now. Do you want to see Fungi the Dingle dolphin?
Probably not.
Dingle has nothing to offer us. They're optimistic.
Yeah.
They got their jets out.
They revert. Look, all from Sunday is this, and I just don't think they've got a clue.
Dingle all the way.
All the way out. All the way home.
That is how a shower should look. Powerful. Gets the job done. What happened?
Just done my first stupid thing of the day.
And it's gone 10 as well, so that's pretty good going.
That's good. Packing the stuff at the bottom of the stairs, lifted my head and head butted the end of the banister.
The end of the banister.
Handrail.
Oh yeah, that's pretty decent.
It's not bad. Found a sharp edge. Ah, yeah. A mere flesh wound.
Right, your noggin. Killed a couple of your last brain cells. Not gonna be able to open any doors anymore, are you? They say the perfect breakfast doesn't exist, but protein bar, yogurt. Simon. Oh, good man. Despite Simon's worsening brain damage, we set off from Dingle along the tight and twisting, sometimes single-track B-roads, which gave us spectacular panoramic views of the stormy Atlantic. After a steady winding incline, we came across the Connor Pass, one of the highest mountain passes in Ireland, forged over millennia by glacial movement, which led on to the sweeping valley below, where we rejoined the wild Atlantic Way.
She's thirsty.
The final leg of day 5 took us along the lowlands of the north of County Kerry, before a short hop over the Shannon River to County Clare, where we would be stopping for the night. I tell us.
Fucking freezing last night.
Did you have a motorbike?
I'm just joking, I don't like the bloody things.
Really?
I went on the back of Jan's a few times and it scared the shit out of me.
Matured even better.
You're cracking it open. You're actually
just gonna have a sniff.
That you can't have too much of that. That is killer.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to water it down.
69% alcohol. That's a good number.
Hangover and probably still over the limit. Because the limit over here is not even a pint. Yeah, it's about 3/4 of a pint.
On day 6, the wind seemed to finally die down, giving us the chance to appreciate the majestic cliffs of Moher before cruising on up the long stretch of road along the coast to County Galway.
Where are we?
Bit ahead.
Yeah, clear ahead.
Head towards Galway.
The lovely windy roads and the sun came out. So it was just lovely.
Right.
Go the coast road because
You just wanted to get there.
further to go up to Eski.
You gotta say your motto with me.
And I wanted to get there
You just wanted to get there.
before it got dark. And so I could rest and relax and get there.
Because we all just wanna get there. You're not saying it with me. Got a good system going. I've got a padlock, so no one can steal my sweaty clothes or my sweaty helmet. Hallelujah.
Camping for us is here, behind the house on the same level, or over there, but it's near the playground. So she said you probably don't want to be there unless you particularly want to be around the kids.
We made it to Kong.
Kong.
The only downside is that we're far away from the coast.
But the upside is it won't be so windy.
Swings and roundabouts.
Oh, there's some swings and roundabouts here as well.
So after getting lucky last night with the weather, waking up to nothing but sunshine, we have made the decision to continue on up the coast to Sligo, something like that. And yeah, it's just started raining actually. So time to pack the bikes up and head on. Stopping in Kong for the night took us inland, allowing us in the morning to explore the lakes, lochs and valleys of County Mayo, before taking the scenic route up to the town of Westport.
Body just hurts mostly. Neck, shoulder, leg, bum. I think the bum's a bit sweaty and sat on the seat in my wet gear. Oh, and my eye.
He's got a crowd. They're crowding around my bike, obviously. He's pretending my bike's his. It was then a slog to our final destination of the day, through the flat and drizzly Ballacroy National Park, with the occasional pit stop to the small fishing town of Ballina, known mostly for its salmon festival, which we would be unfortunately missing. We made it, and it only rained 3 times today.
Kilala, where we've been today,
Break for Guinness.
Where there was an inlet or a lock, probably a salmon farm we think, but it was the site of the first battle of the French force of General Humbert in 1798 rebellion, when he landed at a nearby harbour with 1,100 troops with the objective of supporting the United Irishmen.
Who won?
I don't know.
I have a bastard cold. I blame sleeping in a tent. But we're here in Ballina, and that completes our kind of route along the coast. Ireland has been incredible. I don't know what I was expecting, but maybe a mix of like Wales and England. On the southern coast, from Arthurstown all the way up to Galway, every corner you go around, there's an ooh or an ah kind of moment. It's like Devon on steroids. The worst part so far was definitely the M4. It rained steroids, as my uncle would say, and the visibility was basically nothing. The roads were waterlogged, and we actually had to pull over at the end because it was too sketchy. The Ring of Kerry was probably one of the highlights, along with the Carha Pass, and the road winding up to the top of that was particularly enjoyable. Really well maintained roads as well, compared to the UK. Very rarely a pothole. The most worrying moments of the trip so far have been Simon locking himself in his hotel room and service station bathroom, which required his extraction from Mary, the B&B owner, and myself in the service station. So we stayed in tents on Wednesday night, and my tent was a little underwhelming. It can barely fit a bed in it, really. And when I woke up yesterday, it was quite moist inside. Now, I don't know if it was whether the rain had got in, even though it hadn't rained. But the rain actually has been apt. Definitely gives Ireland this kind of deep, green, luscious feel to it. The bike's been amazing. It's been riding really well, even with the weight on the back. I wouldn't have wanted to do this on the Honda. The phone charger mount has been a lifesaver. And the headset. I don't think we would have been able to do it without headsets, because stopping and communicating has been essential. But this evening, we are heading down to Athlone to camp once again before heading on to Dublin. So we shall see whether or not my tent really is waterproof.
This bolt was loose when I came out this morning. It's been slightly knocking a bit on the front, but I don't think it's that, but we'll see. If it doesn't do it anymore, it was probably that.
Is it an important bolt?
I'm not sure.
Looks like it's holding the suspension together.
Well, it's a clamp for the front fork, so it's fairly important because you need front forks.
You don't want that
Generally.
coming off
No,
at 80 miles an hour.
or coming loose. So I'm hoping it's not a problem.
You tightened it up though?
I've tightened it up, yeah,
With your fingers.
with an Allen key.
All I've drunk on this trip is coffee and Guinness. And feeling a little bit dry. First on the agenda for day 8 was some self-care and to sort myself out with some drugs for my man flu before heading on down to Athlone to camp once more.
Especially the coldest things we've done on this. On the way to set up camp.
Why is your crotch so mouldy? Crotch so mouldy.
Well, it's very damp.
Because?
For a long time.
I'll do a nice lead in. So we're already...
I've had an accident.
Did that happen in the night or?
I don't know. I think he's setting up a tent.
Yeah. Can you see it? Is it him?
Yeah, I can see it. Luckily, our mouldy, worn-out crotches didn't bother us much, as the rain returned once again to remind us that Ireland also experiences the same summers as the UK. And it didn't get much better once we arrived in Athlone, as we discovered the weather wasn't going to be the only nuisance. I shall emerge from this tent a beautiful butterfly.
Hello.
Oh, morning.
Morning.
Well, it's a lovely, peaceful night.
Oh, it's just so peaceful and quiet, isn't it?
It's tranquil here.
Having been kept up until the early morning by our campmates, we hit the road early so we could drown our sorrows in our final stop in Ireland, the city of Dublin.
Pretty unremarkable trip.
Boring motorway, 2 hours. Glad to get away from the campsite and the Russians.
So where are we going now?
Get some Guinness, hopefully.
A tasting room.
Yeah? Ah, I see.
The end of the road in Ireland. What better place?
Top of the factory tree.
You ruined it.
Should we go to the National Leprechaun Museum of Ireland?
Is it still open now?
I think it might be closed. The fellas all asleep.
We're going for the whiskey now. You have the Guinness. We're going for the whiskey.
Inside there's seating for 10 or 11 people. It's without fear it defined John Jemisin's life. And in reality it has defined our whiskey ever since. And with continuing innovation, hard work and unmatched quality, the distillery continued to grow. By 1804 like this year, but for the rest of the 1800s.
You were saying about how the more drunk they get, the higher pitch they get.
Was I now? Was I now? Where was I selling that thing? Was I saying that on the motorbike? Well, I was going faster and faster and faster.
The whiskey scattered over tin. By God he revives, see how he rises. Tim Finnegan jumping from the bed. Cries as he rushes round.
6:30, Sunday morning. We are getting ready to leave to catch the ferry. And it's a beautiful day, finally, in Dublin and Ireland. Just as we're leaving.
I'm going to piss the neighbours off. Neighbours. Yep.
Thoroughly hungover, yet still stuffing my bag full of whiskey from the off-duty, we set off across the Isle of Anglesey for the penultimate destination of our journey. But first, we had a train to catch. Mount Snowdon is the highest mountain in Wales, at just over 1,000 metres above sea level. It's also the busiest mountain in the UK, with over 500,000 walkers a year. However, motorcycle gear isn't the best for hiking, so we decided to fork out for the slightly easier on the knees option. Give them a tour of the Night Cat, as I'm sure everyone needs to know what it's like. That's where I sleep, and that ends the tour of the Night Cat. Dairy Lunchables and wine from Spa. What better way to celebrate the last night?
This is my nighttime toilet.
Relief.
Yes, only for number ones. I can just use it without leaving the tent and dispose of it hygienically by pouring it outside.
And it's voluminous enough.
Well, just about. You have to have good flow control.
Which you do.
But it's enough.
And you fill it to the brim?
Can do. And you can empty it as many times as you like.
Not drinking it.
No.
By accident.
And I don't take it to bed to keep me warm either, as somebody suggested I might.
Cheers.
Never again.
This was too much, to be honest. Once.
10 days. Lifetime's memory, it's got to be.
An actual Snickers this time.
Yeah, well, Tesco's peanut bars weren't available.
They were nutty nougat caramel bars. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Simon just asked me if I wanted a Snickers, and he gave me a nutty nougat caramel bar.
Bloody Snickers.
A Snickers better?
More expensive.
So is the Snowdon train a snow dune or a snow don't?
It's an expensive snow do.
There you have it. Very much looking forward to the morning because we're living the luxury life here in Snowdonia, and we've got hot dogs for breakfast. Boiled hot dogs for breakfast. What a great start to a last day. And a long ride. Situation here has gone from bad to worse. Currently in a midgey epidemic, being alive. Simon is rearranging his tent. Things seem to be occurring inside. I dread to think what. We'll leave that to your imagination. What's going on in there? You've had an accident?
Rearranging my tent.
It's Midgey City right here.
Yeah.
Look, you must be breathing pretty heavily because they are ready for you. Mechanically separated.
Yeah. All the bits they scrape off the floor.
This whole trip has been one big decision whether or not to put wet proofs on.
Wet proofs on
Or off.
Off.
Or on.
Put them on, it won't rain.
Put them off.
Take them off
And it does.
and it won't rain.
No, it definitely does rain.
And it looks like rain around.
How do you pronounce this place?
I haven't got a clue.
Lawrence Llewellyn campsite.
Gwynedd.
Oh,
Gwynedd something.
can't read.
No.
On the home straight.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Ah, my shoulder.
With the longest stint of the trip ahead of us, a mere 300 miles, taking us across some of the most enjoyable but demanding roads so far, it was time to open up the throttle one last time and push our very limited skills to the limit. His arse has gone through his head. I just came up with a saying, Si. I like this jacket because it's cool and it's practical. So it's practical. Practical.
We've been going an hour and a half. Did it take that long?
I just came
Think
up
about
with
that.
whilst I was pissing.
Really? Amazing.
Should be an advertising. Penultimate stop of the trip in Brecon, Wales. For caffeine. Gonna crack on for the final stretch.
Crack on to the final stretch now.
Gonna crack on.
Got to get to Spoons.
Just gotta get there.
Got to get there quickly.
Just want to get there.
As quickly as possible.
So,
We just got to get there. And I've lost my gear selection. It cut out and I can select gears, but there's no drive. BRECON.
there it is. So the final stint didn't go quite as planned. Coming down this road, Simon's chain snapped. We managed to figure that out because his chain was missing. And recovery won't be here for 3 to 4 hours. So I managed to get hold of someone in Brecon who was in St Albans who gave us the details to find a chain. And now we're trying to figure out whether or not we can fit the chain, get someone else to do it, whether I'll have to go to Swansea to pick it up, or, you know, I don't know. Do I leave him? Do I stay and wait? I think we have succumbed to the realization that this man is not going home on his bike. Have you given up?
There's nothing I can do except wait for the recovery and have a nice ride home. What time I'll get there, I have no idea.
I reckon 9:30, if that.
That wouldn't be too bad.
10:30.
Yeah. It is what it is. I just want to get there. Set the tent up and it's lovely there. It's perfect camping, apart from the noise.
Better than Russians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say it one more time. Let's just get there.
Let's just get there.
I'd finally lost the dead weight, I was free to go at my own speed. But it seemed to be the luck of the day, I immediately got a low fuel warning light, and my phone decided to stop working. After slipstreaming several lorries and feathering the throttle all the way to Newport to find a petrol station, it was one last rip to the finish line, back across the Severn Bridge, down the M4, and then along the glorious A roads of Wiltshire in the setting summer sun. The very, very final stint.
3 hours home.
3 hours home, that's all it was. That's all you had to do.
Spoons in Wimborne was the target.
Yep, a nice beer at Spoons. But you decided...
10 minutes out of Brecon, my bike just stopped. And that was about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock on the Monday. Well, they didn't come until about 20 past 8. I said, are you taking me home? He said, no.
Your angel.
Gordano Services. That's where I ended up at about 10:30, I think. And then I had to wait quite a long time till about 12:30 for the next person to turn up. I said, are you taking me home? He said, no, I'm taking you to Cheveley Services, which is Newbury.
Services. Yeah.
I said, no, you're not. The upshot was I stayed in the Ramada Hotel there.
Oh, on the RSC's expense?
Yes. I said, it's been nearly 24 hours and I'm about 2 hours away from where I started. So then a man turned up about 2 o'clock, 2:15, and we got back here about 5:30.
So you broke down at about 2:30.
3 o'clock on Monday.
Yeah, and you got back 26 hours later.
Yeah.
What's your favourite part?
Those coast roads and the open areas.
The open areas.
The open areas.
I think the Carhart Pass and the passes.
Some of them were quite a way up. And then you reach the crest and you could look onwards and backwards.
I love a crest.
Do you?
Yeah.
Crest.
Incredible scenery.
It would have been nice if it had been a bit sunnier.
Dress for the rides.
Not the slide.
Not the slide.
Yeah.
Good advice.
It's just nice to be on the journey a lot of the time.
It's nice to be out of the house as well.
Well, yes.
I managed to drag you off the beaten path a couple of times.
Your obsession with the Wild Atlantic Way signs, which didn't all have to be followed.
Your obsession with just getting there. I think if you were my age, you'd still be the same.
Just get there.
Yeah, I just want to get there.
Go to the pub. We didn't actually do a huge distance in 12 days, whatever it was.
It was 1,500, I think it was. Next year.
Yes. I'd like to do a bit more camping, actually. Short trips, maybe.
Anything on the agenda?
Well, it could be.
Ooh. Mysterious. I can't camp within a certain radius of my bed. That's my rule. The big one on all the lists is the NC 500. Yeah, NC 500.
Spoons in?
Spoons?
Okay.